And we're back on Central Valley Talk. Very busy show today. My next guest, Michael Listopad, a technology consultant from Algorithm Systems. You do IT work?
I do indeed, sir.
Yeah? For small business?
For small business, yes.
Okay.
We really like to focus on the individual. And a lot of times, small businesses get left out in the cold. They don't have the capital to have their own IT staff or a full-time IT person, but they can't afford the big money for a larger firm to come in and and take care of them.
But these days you have to have an online presence if you're going to make it.
You know, I sat down with a company the other day and we were talking about IT stuff, and a question came up of what industry today doesn't use technology, and we couldn't think of a one. Farmers, they use technology.
Sure they do.
We just couldn't think of any industry that couldn't. So there's definitely a need out there for IT professionals to help out small business.
Yeah. You know, Google has been working on these driverless cars. Farmers have had driverless tractors for years.
Indeed,
out
they
there
have.
Doing their fields.
Yeah.
So in some ways the farmers are ahead of the rest of us.
That's right. The tractors, they have GPS, and in fact, that same small business, what we discussed was business intelligence for farmers, learning how to use the right hardware and software to make their jobs easier. And it's really pretty fascinating. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Right before we went on the air, I asked you about the big stock market problem yesterday. They had to shut down trading on the stock market yesterday for several hours when their computers went down. Today they're saying, oh, it was a software upgrade that didn't quite go the way it should. You're not buying that.
No, I'm not buying it.
You think something bad happened and they don't want to admit it.
Well, I don't like to scare people, but...
Well, none of us know, but you're just
Right.
you're speculating.
Right, Well, actually, let me throw out some hard facts at you.
Okay.
In 2014, they estimated that there was $20.4 million lost due to breaches.
That sounds low to me. Only 20 million?
Well, that's the hard capital that the companies lost. That's not counting maybe their loss in reputation. Maybe they had to get identity protection for some of their employees or their clients.
I mean, Target alone lost more than that on their
Right.
the mess they had.
And that's a giant problem. And in fact, with the Target, a significant research has been done on that, and it was only one small leak that was in their air conditioning system.
I've read the story.
And it's amazing how just one small problem can escalate to such a big problem.
Target had hired another company to handle the air conditioning at all their stores, right, to regulate it remotely.
Right.
Somehow the hackers got into that company and used their connections to Target to get into the Target system.
That's right.
So you have to make sure that every loophole is closed up if you're a big business.
That's true. And small businesses have that same problem.
Sure.
Honestly, any company that makes more than $100,000 a year, you're going to be targeted. And as larger companies harden their systems and have more sophisticated network security, small businesses, they got to keep pace. Because otherwise, you're going to be that one house in the neighborhood that doesn't have an alarm system, that you don't have very good locks on your doors. Where are the thieves going to go?
That house.
That house right there.
Back to the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
You think that something bad happened yesterday, and they don't want to admit it.
I think something bigger happened. And
you don't shut down the stock market for something minor.
No, the stock market, they have multiple redundant systems.
Backups.
So you would think that once one system fails, they would just go over to another system. And I'm not buying it, and I'm sure something will come out in a couple days or months. But a lot of times, these larger companies, they don't want to admit a breach because, again, you lose reputation, you lose clients, and that translates to money gone.
If people lose faith in the stock market, that can have a huge impact on our entire economy.
I really don't want to think about that, honestly.
All right. Michael, if folks are looking for someone to handle their IT, how can they get a hold of you?
Okay. My website, algorithmsystems.net. Go ahead, shoot me an email. Give me a call. Text works out great. I don't think people use smoke signals anymore, but yeah, absolutely. Get a hold of me, and we'll sit down and talk.
Just Google Algorithm Systems.
Indeed.
They can find out more about you. Thank you for coming in today.
Indeed. My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. All right, and we'll be back with more on Central Valley Talk.